Got it. If you don't know what I'm referring to, you're not paying attention to my other videos or going to my channel. Yeah, I'm all set now. I can relax and breathe. Yeah, I also went to the grocery store today myself. You know, I don't want to tell all of you to go to the grocery store and then not do it myself. What would that make me? And then I also snuck in the Dead Like Me collection. So, arrived just in time. So yeah, if you don't know Dead Like Me, it's hilarious. A teenage girl dies prematurely, and she then becomes the Grim Reaper. There's a whole Grim Reaper organization that goes around killing people when it's their time to go. And they meet in a restaurant. Hilarious. Okay, so yeah, Mormons. You know, you claim you love the Book of Mormon, you claim to have read the Book of Mormon, you claim to know the Book of Mormon is true, and then when I tell you of the warnings that are coming and tell you about the signs in the heavens, you throw rocks at me. And you don't see how it has to do with what the Book of Mormon is talking about. So, come on guys. You know, Samuel the Lamanite, was he a prophet? Nope. Not until after Jesus came in the story and asked Nephi, bring me the records. Where's Samuel the Lamanite? Oops. And then they had to write by memory his words. And that's when he became a prophet. It's because when Jesus said, hey, I inspired this guy to warn you guys, and it all happened as I told him it would, to tell you, and you didn't have his records? So, you guys can't make the connection there? You know, what was the thing that he was talking about? There's going to be signs in the heavens. You know, I saw another Mormon. He calls himself Samuel the Lamanite. That's his channel name. And he doesn't get it. He's speculating because he read it on somebody's website, some Mormon's website, who's claiming that Adam-on-Diamond has already happened without the Mormons' knowledge. And it says that they're speculating, but we assume that it happened because of an event that occurred in July 2015. Come on, guys. You don't need to speculate. Everything's happening. You can now just attach current events with the prophecies. It's that easy now. You don't need to speculate anymore. And so that's why I'm just so frustrated with you guys, because the prophets ain't telling you on any of this. You're looking to them to tell you when all these signs and events on earth correspond together when they happen. And they're not doing it. I'm the only one who's doing it. Except for the speculators. So come on, guys. It's supposed to be Mormons, members of the church in Missouri. Everybody's supposed to go back. It's not a special mission for only elite Mormons to go when they get called. I told you that in the other video. That it's a member of the 70 somewhere in these back two piles. I found it deep in his book. He doesn't reference anybody for that, so it's him making the declaration that that's how it's going to be. Just a member of the 70. That's it. That's all he is. So, Come on, Mormons, get your food and sit back and watch TV tonight to find out how it's all going to happen. Because it's going to get ugly. And if nothing does happen, if he doesn't declare martial law, if he wimps out, and he ends up writing in his diary of a wimpy kid. I don't know if there's anybody in the audience who knows about that book series. I've never watched it, or is it a TV show? I don't know. I'm just familiar with the title. So, yeah, we just have to wait now, hunker down, and wait to find out if kids get to go to school tomorrow, people get to go to work tomorrow, or if it's going to be a slow, torturous death. So we'll see. I would expect some kind of 9/11 event today so that he can justify himself, because he's saying now, and the news is already exposing him as a fraud on this. So he has to have a 9/11 event like Bush did. Bush was smart. He knew how to organize it to get his Patriot Act out. And if you don't believe that he was involved in the Patriot Act, you weren't doing any of the research. A BYU physicist, the guys who know the math behind engineering. An engineer may know the math, but they're specific to engineering. A physicist knows the math for not just engineering, but all other fields in science, in the physical sciences. And the BYU professor went to the crash site and did some samples, looked at some things, and then made the mistake of using his computer at work at BYU to spread through the email or social media or wherever he was doing it that there's some problems with the government's claims, and he was saying that no, the physics doesn't add up. And so BYU stepped in and protected the government by busting him for using school property for his job to explain 9/11. It's his job to be a physicist. If he's saying, hey, as a physicist, the physics formula utilized for the crash, according to the government, doesn't make sense, that applies to his job. He needs to come out and say that. That's relevant to the circumstances. He's somebody you can trust and rely on for information. So, but yeah, BYU stepped in, protected Bush, and helped cover it up. So, those of you who are in the physics program and had his class, you know very well who I'm talking about. And I don't know the guy. I just remember BYU physicist. What? What's he doing getting involved? And then I heard the church stepped in and punished him. All right. So, yeah. If Trump doesn't pull some 9/11 stunt, and he has to do it at the border, because if he's going to claim to want to build a wall and declare martial law for it, he has to have at the border. And so, if he doesn't do it, he's just the dumbest authoritarian in the universe. And so, but yeah, he's been planning all of this. People like to claim him as dumb, not knowing what he's doing, only flying off of the seat of his pants in an emotional fit of tantrum. But no, this is all calculated and planned. So, right at the day after his presidency, he already had the draft of the order to separate children from their families at the border, and to establish the camps and all that. And they were secretly doing it all that first year in 2017, and then finally in 2018 they get caught, and people are all enraged, and he pretends to backtrack and sign an order saying, "Oh, I'm gonna stop, okay." But then he does it again, and now it's worse than ever. So yeah, this is how he operates, people. So yep, there's the sanitation guy. So that's good. We'll have an empty dumpster for whatever happens after this. And yes, I made sure to get all my trash out so that I wouldn't have this problem with the dumpster being filled with trash immediately after. So yes, I'm an Eagle Scout, people. Be prepared, remember? So alright, so now we just wait. Countdown begins. 7 hours. So we'll see what happens.